How would you feel if I told you that your perception on reality is about to be elevated and changed to new heights? Yeah, I have no clue what I just said. I ain't about all that Matrix realness, but let's be honest. Hi guys, and welcome to My Two Cents, the show where I speak of the world around me in my own point of view, so if you don't like it, well, that's boo on you. Let's get started. A new fall season has begun, and this show has entered its 6th season. That's right, ladies and gents, it's Once Upon a Time, the show that follows the daughter of Prince Charming and Snow White, the evil queen, Hook, and the rest of the cluster smuck of fairy tales and stories as they live in a small town called Storybrooke in Maine and battle evils from their land while bringing forth everyone's happy ending. So we are well into season 6, and there are many things I have on my plate about this show. But first, let's start with the timeline. So, there was a tweet by Horowitz stating that they were currently in 2013, and I would have to disagree. Cut it. I would have to say, nah. According to everything that has happened in the show, they are actually in 2014. Technically, late August of 2014, and this is how I know. I made a post on Once Podcast about this, but I'll just share it here because I can do that. This show begins in October of 2011. Technically on a Tuesday in present day, since episode 102, The Thing You Love Most, ends on a Thursday evening, and the rest of the season spans within a school year, ending around mid to late May, picking back up in season 2, where the previous season leaves off, and then we can give some artistic liberty between episodes 201 and 214, because 215, The Queen is Dead, we celebrate Snow's birthday, and Johanna mentioned that Snow was born in one of the harshest winters of all, which would put the show in December of 2012 if their weather seasons are concurrent with our weather seasons. But if you remember in that episode, Emma, Rumpelstiltskin, and Henry were in Manhattan searching for Bellfire, and there are no Christmas decorations up. And everyone knows that winter begins the week or about 5 days before Christmas, which would put this episode at around January of 2013. Now the rest of the season continues, and you know what? I'm gonna link the thread here and let you read it, because I ain't finna go through that whole thing. But I'll tell you what, at this point in season 6, Henry should be beginning a new school year in the 8th grade, and Emma should be celebrating her 31st birthday, because we are beginning, or should be beginning, in late August of 2014. Next up, Regina's age. Kitsis and Horowitz made a statement saying that Regina was 18 when she married King Leopold and when that whole feud between she and Snow White began, which is not the case. There is no way she was 18, and here is why. In episode 102, The Thing You Love Most, Maleficent makes a stab at Regina's age, stating that Snow White was the same age as she, Regina, was when she was to marry Daniel. Then we jump forward to episode 118, Stable Boy, where we first meet. Cora calls Regina an old maid, unless Cora was 13 or 14 when she married Prince Henry, then there's no way Regina could be considered an old maid. Jump forward to episode 301, The Heart of the Truest Believer. Emma exclaims that she and her parents are the same age. And if they are technically the same age, that would make them 29 years old at this point. Because if you read my thread, which I hope you did, then you would know that that would put them at February of 2013. Which would make Snow and Charming about 28 years old when they married, which would have made Regina 28 when she married King Leopold, which puts her at 46 when the show first begins, which makes her now 49. You look good, girl.
It's a bit informal, wouldn't you say? Show some respect. It's Your Majesty.
Also, Emma is supposed to be the hero, the savior of their world, and yet, she hasn't done much saving. Every villain that has been on the show has been defeated by a villain or an anti-hero. They focus so much on redeeming the villains like Regina and Hook and Rumpelstiltskin, sort of, that they've completely overlooked Emma's character development. She's not the same person that she was when the show first began, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, part of me feels that she's kind of worse off than she was when the show first began. I mean, look at the Underworld story arc. Go on, I'll wait. See what I'm saying? Also, she hasn't defeated a villain yet. I'll give her a point for killing Maleficent in the season 1 finale, and I'll give her half a point each for killing Hook before they went to the Underworld, and for kissing a faux head. But other than that, the villains were defeated by other villains or themselves. Regina was barely defeated by anyone other than the love of her son Henry. I'll give her that. Hook was defeated by Greg and Tamara and then went on the side of good. Greg and Tamara by the Lost Boys, and then Tamara by Gold. Pan by Gold. Zelena by Regina and Gold. Ingrid defeated herself. Beau Ursula was defeated by Hook. Then King Arthur by Hades. Hades by Zelena. And I already know all y'all are yelling, what about Cora? What about Cruella? What about James or Gaston? And blah blah, I get it, yes. They were defeated by heroes. But when they were defeated by heroes, the heroes went through this weird internal conflict. This woe is me, there was supposed to be another way, there's always another way, and it was all this yada yada yada. I'm like, stop it, you are the heroes, you're supposed to do, this is what you're supposed to do. Okay, I'll give it, no done Cora dirty, she did her dirty. But all the other ones, it was all out of self-defense. This is supposed to be a show where the heroes defeat the villains and justice is served, where there's no wavering, there's no second guessing from their end, and there's no whining or complaining. They literally have the heroes running around in circles like chickens with their heads cut off, instead of just dealing with the villains head on, focusing on the task at hand and just moving forward, making them extremely passive. Even in Wonderland, Jafar's victory was practically handed to him, and then we have the anti-hero Nyx, who defeats him, turning him into a genie. So let's, I don't know, see a hero take out a villain with no annoying internal conflicts or complexes, and allow the hero to do what the hero is supposed to do and have some character development, and stop focusing so much on the reformed villains being the heroes. And what? Now that I've got those two things out of the way, and out of my system, let's jump forward to season 5, which, in my opinion, wasn't that great of a season. Now, it's come to a point that all of these guest stars, all of these fairy tale characters, have become nothing more than just a revolving door. There's literally no reason for any of them to even be there. They don't serve the story or the central characters that much, and they become nothing more than window dressing. As you know, Season 5 picks up where Season 4 leaves off, taking us to Camelot as our dream team rubs elbows with King Arthur after finding Emma, who has become the new Dark One. I just threw up in my mouth a little bit. Anyway, this was all over the place because there was no true focus on Camelot, and there were so many loose ends, and there was really no focus on Emma actually being the Dark One, like really being a Dark One. But let's go back to loose ends. Like, what happened with the Sands of Avalon? What happened with Lancelot and his mother, the Lady of the Lake? What happened with he and Guinevere? The fact that she was basically under a trance by homeboy Arthur, who was acting all crazy and jealous and wanted the perfect kingdom. Let's be real. He was a freak. Yeah, he was. There were so many unanswered questions, and also with Merida, she was practically just in and out, and had no real relevance to the story as a whole, other than...
I need you to make him brave.
All these questions, so many questions.
Your questions are pointless.
Oh yes. Jump to the underworld. Are you freaking serious? The underworld? That is how we're going there? Hook all of a sudden dies and we have to take a trip to the underworld to save him on a half-baked plan that was completely not thought the whole way through. And my thing is, you should have just let him stay dead. I'm just saying, look, okay, I'm no Hook fan, but I also understand the art of storytelling, and from that point, there was really no reason for all of them to go down there. And there was no reason for any of this to happen, and not to mention, the buildup of going to the underworld was completely lackluster. Anticlimactic. I wasn't impressed. And as much as they love bringing characters in and out, they could have brought in Pain and Panic, but they didn't. Now that would have been pretty legit.
Pain! Oh, and Panic! Reporting for duty!
Unfortunately, they only focused on Hades, and we only got to see Hercules and Meg in one episode, and we got to see Zeus. Yeah, I'll jump to that business later. Also, I have this huge issue with this whole idea of Hades wanting Zelina's baby to cast the time travel spell, which, if you remember back in season 3, they made a huge deal as to why it had to be Snow and Charming's baby Snowflake, or Neil, or whatever you want. Sorry. I'm not bitter!
God love you, son.
Bay is Bay.
Bye. Bye!
I'm okay. Anyway, they made a huge deal about this, but if you remember in episode 320, Kansas, Zelina mentioned that because the baby was a product of the purest true love, that was the reason why she had to use that baby. Yes, innocence was a thing, but there was a huge emphasis on baby Snowflake being the product of the purest of true love.
Nothing more innocent than a newborn babe. And you, my sweet, are the most innocent of all. The product of the truest love.
See? She did say that. And according to Regina, that baby was not the product of true love.
The only reason you have that baby is because you killed Marion. And you deceived Robin in the most vile way imaginable.
See? Also, Zeus looked significantly younger than Hades, which Zeus was supposed to be the older brother, but I guess they were going to hold the care thing since there was the whole, this is... Also, they killed Robin. Robin! They killed Robin! And then Zeus brought back Hook to just... I'm not bitter! You seem pretty bitter, bro. Not to mention, there was so much setup as to why Hades had no control, no power outside of the underworld, and why he had to have so much control over the underworld, and why he was so worried about people moving on and losing power, and they completely swept that under the rug. Not to mention they did sweep under the rug.
They are responsible for tearing us away from our home we must now reclaim.
But how will we ever get back without a beam?
I'm afraid we cannot get back. That's why we must build a new Camelot. Here, in Storybrooke.
But I digress. But they did want to focus on this bizarre yet very intriguing love story between he and Selena, or ship name Zetes. I can't believe I just said that. Now that season 6 has begun, they've returned to the original format of their story arcs, and now they can truly focus on their core characters and the story arc as a whole instead of cutting the season into 2 mini seasons, stretching them way too thin. But still, do we need a cluster smuck of all of these characters to come in? Granted, I'm glad that we're seeing Aladdin, but in the finale it looked like we were gonna get some imaginary friends or something for this season. But at least Cruella punched Emma in the face.
That's for killing me, darling.
That was really good. We needed that. That was a random comment that has nothing to do with season 6. It was needed. But it was needed. Anyway, despite this past season, I'm actually kind of excited to see what's going to happen next and know that I do like this show. I really do like this show, but I'm also really passionate about it and passionate about the universe and the fundamental rules that they have created within this show, within this universe, and I believe in some way, I hope, that they can return back to their core themes of the show. I truly hope so. You see what I did there? Because hope is one of their core themes of the show, and yeah.
Hope. Believing in even the possibility of a happy ending is a very powerful thing.
Thanks, Snow. Anyway, there are so many things that I have opinions on, but I want to focus specifically on Season 5 and those key points I had mentioned, and not make a 20-year video. But if there's anything that you would like to see, or if you have any suggestions or opinions, leave them in the comment section below. It's all love for once. Know this, it is all love for once. It truly is. But let's tighten this up, or
I shall destroy your happiness, if it is the last thing I do.
that's my 2 cents, and they ain't cheap. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, don't forget to like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Aiden-Jeffrey. And remember that you were made on purpose and for a purpose, and as long as you walk with fiery passion and perfect peace, there's nothing you can't do, there's no mountain that you cannot move. So until next time, love, peace, and hair grease. Bye, guys.
Please don't do it.
I'm not gonna jump.
You're not?
No, are you crazy? I could hit someone. You know how much damage I could do? I'm solidly built.
Huh.